Hi everyone, welcome to my very, very late Inktober sketchbook. I know it's like halfway through November now and October did end a whole 19 days ago, so it's late, but I figure better late than never. Basically life just got in the way. I had a whole bunch of deadlines and varsity and work and everything was just getting crazy. So that was more important, and here I am, I'm back, and here is my long overdue Inktober sketchbook. So I hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, I think it's time to actually start the tour, and I hope you find it interesting and that it's cool to see kind of what I was thinking or what I was doing before I started or while I was doing each sketch. So let's head into the actual tour. So this is day one of Inktober, and basically I knew that there were prompts, but I tried to follow it for the first day and I just couldn't find any inspiration, and I literally drew for about 3 hours before I actually found an idea. So for this one I just decided to do my own thing, and for some reason people in sunglasses was inspiring to me that day, so that is what I did. And it turned out okay. It's not the best drawing, but I think starting Inktober was important, and getting the first drawing done was kind of a feat for me. So yeah, that was the first day. This is the second day, and I started following the prompt list on this day because I talked to people at varsity and they were doing it and I got all inspired and whatever. So this is Inktober day 2, and this drawing is for the theme Divide, and I really, really like this drawing, and it's a really basic concept. Basically, it's her head is separate from her body, so it's divided. Haha. Not the most creative. I really like the way I did the background, that like circly thing, and just the way I did the face and everything like that. So I think my technique in this one is good. Not the best idea, but a drawing is a drawing. Day 3 is also one of my favorites. The drawing theme was for poison, and I couldn't think of anything. I didn't want to draw like a poison bottle or anything, so then I kind of trolled the internet and found some poison flowers. These are hellebores, I'm not sure how to pronounce them, but they're basically these purple flowers that are poisonous, and I didn't colour them. I just liked the lines in them and I didn't want to ruin it with any colour. So then Inktober day 4, the theme or the prompt was underwater, and it turned out okay. It's not my favourite drawing, it's not the most original concept, but I had fun doing it. But it was pretty much an experimental page for me, so I'm not angry at the way it turned out. In fact, I'm kind of proud of it. So yeah, this is one of my absolute favourite ones. I love this one so much. This is basically the first day that I decided to use Copic markers or alcohol-based markers, and the prompt was long, so I figured, you're on this long hike or long journey or whatever, and then you come and you see this cute little cottage at the end of this really long road. So that's pretty much what I drew. Again, none of my concepts for Inktober seem to be very original, but I suppose when you're trying to draw a drawing every day, you don't really have the time to come up with super in-depth concepts. Anyway, so this one is one of my absolute favorite. I just love the way that I did the pen, like the inking. So all of the pen marks, the way I've done the stones, the house, everything, and then the way I've colored it. I think tonally it's really interesting. I don't know, there's just something about this drawing that I really, really like. Then for day 6, the prompt was sword, and this was the only drawing that I kind of broke my purple and black color scheme. And it's because I initially didn't think, oh, okay, I'm only going to use purple, I'm only going to use black. Those just happen to be the inks that I have, like good quality inks in the colors. And this one, I just had a blue multiliner lying around from Copic, and I did it, and then I just had an orange Copic marker lying on my table, so I used that. And then I kind of regret the colours because I actually do like the drawing. I like that she's kind of chopped in half, and it's like sword, haha. But I kind of wish that they were in the colours, like if the lines were black or purple and the little inside bits were purple as well. It turned out okay. It's the day 6 drawing and I can't change it now, haha. This is Inktober day 7, and the prompt is for this one shy, and I kind of went round and round with what I was going to do, like how do you express shy, and then I figured, okay, covering your face is a shy thing to do. It's something that I tend to do. Like when I was younger, I used to have a fringe and I had long hair and I used to hide behind that. So I kind of figured, okay, hands, I like drawing hands, so I'll draw hands. And then I don't know why I chose to draw the flowers in the background. I was clearly feeling like I needed to draw flowers, and I overall really, really, really like the way that this one turned out. I think it's so simple. The color scheme is so minimal, but it just worked really well, and the gradient worked really nicely, which I'm very proud of because I struggled with the gradients this month for some reason. I don't know if it was the kind of ink I was using or because I was using different paper than I'm used to using. I don't know what it was, but that gradient makes me happy. Anyway, but this is Inktober Day 8, and this one again is in Copic marker and bleed proof fine liners, multiliners, whatever. Again, this one I did mostly freehand. So I started off by sketching it out with pencil, and then as I was drawing it, I thought, it would really go with the prompt of crooked if I just did it freehand. So I stopped using the pencil, and then I just kind of went with it and just went straight in with fine liner, and I really, really like the way it turned out. I especially love the little patches of grass in the front. And houses are okay. I like drawing houses, so that one went well. This is day 12 of Inktober, and the prompt was Screech, and I was originally going to do something like screaming or little bird tweeting or something, and I was like, not feeling it, not feeling very inspired, so I just changed to like a person blocking her ears and then doing Screech in the background. It's not my favorite. I really don't like her face. There's something just weird about it, or like the hands. I don't know what it is. If someone could point out to me what's weird about her face, that'd be cool. But I clearly didn't like it very much because I didn't even erase the pencil marks in the words. So there's that. But if you're drawing a drawing every day, you can't expect every drawing to be a masterpiece. And that's definitely something that I took away from Inktober. So yeah, that was day 12. Then this is day 10. And a lot of these kind of went out of order just because some days I didn't want to do work on the watercolor paper because that took longer. So they're not all in order, but this is day 10. The prompt was gigantic, and I basically did like an Alice in Wonderland kind of take on it, where she's really, really small and the garden is really big. And I really, really like the way I did the flowers. It's super simple. I just basically wet the whole flower and then dropped a big ink drop into the middle of it, and I really, really like the texture. I think I could have played a little bit more with the depth of the background, but I was kind of under time pressure, so there's that. Then this is Inktober Day, whatever the day was. The prompt is run, and for this one I was going to do someone running, but I was like, don't really feel like it, so I decided to do a little fat cat running. So the cat in the middle is basically fulfills the prompt, and then the other two cats are just because I wanted to draw this little fat dopey cat some more because he's so cute and I love him so much. And then I just did the pattern in the background because with the three cats just chilling in the middle of the page, it looked a bit empty and weird. And I like the pattern. I don't think it takes away from the drawing. If I did it again, I might not do it, but if I really want to use the drawing, I can always put it into Photoshop and just edit out the patterns. But I love a little derpy kitty. I don't know why it's one. He's so cute. Anyway, so this is day 12 apparently, and the prompt was shattered. And I don't know how I feel about this one because I really, really like the drawing underneath. I think I got the anatomy really cool. I actually did some good shoes for the first time in a really long time. But then the whole concept was, the picture is shattered, so I had to put lines through it. So, is it amazing? No. But, it's done, and I did day 12, so there it is. This one I also really like. I think there's something about the shape, this kind of ovular shape that I did for this house that I don't know, it really speaks to me. It's just a good shape. So basically the prompt for this one was teaming, and I had to look it up because I didn't want to do something like teaming with life. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of bugs or little animals or whatever it was. It just didn't really appeal to me. I don't know, I just didn't want to do like a whole bunch of the same thing. So I looked up the word teaming, and I kind of discovered that it's like teeming with rain, which is like it's pouring with rain. So that's pretty much what I decided to do. So I drew this little umbrella thing and with rain in the background, and I really like the girl and her face and her hands. I don't know, it just worked out really well. The only thing that kind of bugs me is the fact that the stick for the umbrella is so long, but I mean, it's done, and I really, really like it otherwise. Then for day 14, which was fierce, I decided to do a self-portrait, just because I feel like this one I was very inspired for, because I didn't want to do something like scary or anything. I just wanted to do a girl being strong in her own way, I don't know, and confident, and I just decided that a self-portrait would make me feel better about myself, and it was just a very self-positive kind of drawing. And then I just picked this quote by Coco Chanel that really spoke to me, and I don't know, it just, sorry if you can hear the Hadi-Das, they're being loud. I don't know, the quote just really spoke to me, and I really, really like the way this one turned out. The background's great, the pen work's great, I don't know, it makes me happy. Then, for the next one, for day 15 of Inktober, I kind of went for a more graphic kind of nature, because the prompt was mystery, and it was, I don't know, I just felt inspired by Sherlock Holmes because I just watched the movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it, and I just decided that mystery was a good, I don't know, it fits, and I really like it. It's simple, it's cute, it fits with what I wanted to do. So yeah, that's mystery. Then graceful is the next one I did for the 17th of October, and this one started out differently than it finished. So originally I did the girl draped in cloth, and it was like all classical portrait type, very graceful, very demure, and I still really, really like the girl. I like the way I coloured her and everything like that. And then I don't know why I decided to do the background. I think it might have just been feeling a bit empty or whatever, but I'm not the biggest fan of the background, but overall I think I like this image. Then Inktober Day 16 is fat, and again I went out of order, just because this one I was awake at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was so tired, and I really, really didn't feel like getting out the water and the brushes and the ink, and I just got a fine liner out and a brush pen, and I just drew a fat fish because I didn't want to draw anything difficult, and fish for me are just easy. So that's what I did. I drew a fat little fish with a cool background texture. And yeah, that was what I did for day 16 of Inktober, where the prompt was fat. And then for the next day, the 18th of October, well, not the next day, but you know what I mean. The prompt was filthy, and I'm really proud of this drawing. Is it the best drawing I've ever drawn? I don't think so, but I didn't use any reference for it, and I think it turned out really, really well. So basically I wanted to go for this whole drawing of this girl who kind of looks a bit, I don't know if shocked is the right word, but she doesn't look happy or sad. She's just kind of a bit like, And she's got really greasy hair, her face is really dirty, she's got something running down her mouth. I don't know, it could be blood, could be dirt, could be something that she's eaten and has just gotten dirty, but that's pretty much what I wanted to do. Also, I think it kind of works well, just the look I've drawn. It's kind of like a filthy look, so I don't know, this is more of the more interesting drawings I've done in terms of concept, but not necessarily, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, and I'm really just proud of this one because I kind of started out by looking at references. I was trying to find the kind of expression I wanted, and I trolled the internet for about 20 minutes or something, and I was just looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find what I wanted, so eventually I was just like, bye internet, and I just drew this drawing, and I think it turned out so well. It's one of the first reference-free images that I've drawn in like a realistic-ish image that I've drawn without looking at reference for a really, really long time. So I think that I'm very proud of this one. I also like the background. I think the texture just adds to it without detracting. I don't know. It just works really well, this drawing, in my opinion. Then the next day is day 19, and this one is cloud. And this one I drew on a weekend, so I had a little bit more time to do it. than I normally would. And basically I realized that I've never really drawn clouds. I mean, I've painted them with like oil paints, but it's different from drawing it with pen and ink. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to draw a graphic-ish, liney cloud thing. And I think I did pretty okay. I think that now that I've done it, I could do a better job. Because some of the places where the lines connect, it gets a bit like patterny and not so cloud-ish. But all those technical terms. But yeah, so basically what I did was I just used ink, and then I used my dipping pen to get the purple lines because I don't actually have a purple multiliner. So that's just what I did. I think it works out really well, and I'm glad I went for purple lines in the clouds instead of black. Then for day 20, the prompt was deep, and this is another one that I really, really, really love. It tells such a cute little story, and I don't know, it makes me so happy. It's like old children's book illustration-y, and every time I see it, it just makes me smile. So that's why I love this one so much. And basically it's just this little mouse at the bottom of the well, this little girl looking at the little mouse. And I don't know, I think I did the perspective relatively well, and the mouse turned out beautifully, and the textures and everything. I don't know, I really, really like it. And I'm glad I didn't add color, because at some point I was like, oh, maybe some purple and Copic markers would look fantastic. And then I put my book down because I needed to go do something, and I came back and I was like, oh, thank God I didn't do that, because that just would have ruined the simple nature. I don't know, just taken something away from it, I think. But who knows, I might color it digitally just to see what it would look like. Then Inktober day 21, this is a bit of a stuff up on my part. It's day 21, but I wrote day 20 in the actual illustration because I'm a fool. But ignoring that, I think this one turned out really, really well. It's a little grumpy cat, which makes me so happy because he's so cute and so grumpy. And I kind of based it off my own cat because he just gives me these looks sometimes, and I'm like, oh, what did I do? I'm sorry, I tickled you wrong, or whatever. So it's the grumpy little cat, and the background is looking a bit empty, so I just did this like starburst kind of pattern in the background and added the Inktober day whatever, and then furious, and it was furious, haha, because puns. But yeah, that was just a cute little drawing in the middle of the month. Then Inktober day 24, this is where I went really out of order. So day 21 to day 24, then it's day 22, then day 23, then, it just a bit of a jump around. But I'll put the names on the screen so it's not too confusing, and hopefully you can follow along. This is day 24. It's not a very original idea. I think I've seen the whole flowers over the eye thing on the internet. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have. I honestly can't remember where I've seen it. So I probably, you know how when you see something and you like it and then you keep it in your brain and then later you are inspired and you like draw on that inspiration. I think that was, anyway. I like the hands. I love the gradients. They worked out so smooth and so feathery and so soft and cloudy, and everything about them just makes me happy. And I think the black flat diamond-ish shape in the background works really well, so this one is one of my favorites. Then day 22 is Trail. This one was a quicker one. I didn't have that much time. I can't remember what day it was, but it was probably during the week sometime, where I had varsity and work, and I was just home really late. Anyway, this one is, I just really, really like these little flowers that I drew, and the girl that I drew. I don't know, there's just something so nice and simple and cute, and I don't know, there's something very, I want to say me about this illustration, but I don't know what it is. And I just love the little glowy of the flowers because it looked very plain and just black and white, so I'm glad I added that little purple glow. And then Inktober day 23, Juicy. I love this little illustration that I've done. It makes me so happy. It's so cute. It's just, So basically for this one, I was like, Juicy, don't want to do a fruit. What can I do for Juicy? And then I thought, a little bottle of juice with a person in it would be perfect. I mean, I don't know why my brain reached that conclusion, but I'm glad it did, because I really like the way I did the reflections on the jar. I really love the way I did like the colored juice water thing, whatever it is. And yeah, the little hands pressed up against the glass, I think I did pretty well. I don't know. I just like this one. It just makes me happy. I was clearly on a very good roll here, because the next one, the little day 26 for Squeak, again out of order. It's so cute. Look at the little mouse. I don't know, I just love this one so much. And he's sitting on a little mushroom and this little flower. I don't know, he's so cute. Anyway, so this little mousey, I was like, you know what, Jamie, don't be like predictable. Don't draw a mouse. That's boring. You can't just draw a mouse. But then I thought, oh, but I love my little mouse so much from my well. On day 20, it made me so happy that I thought I'd draw him again. But it's like a more close-up, more detailed version of my little mousey. I don't know. I really want to do something with him. He's so cute and he makes me so happy. And maybe I'll start like a little comic with him. Anyway. So day 25 was ship, and I thought, I was going to do a sailboat, and then I tried to draw it, and it wasn't working. I clearly wasn't feeling inspired or whatever, so I just decided to do a little rocket ship flying around the earth, and I like this one. I'm not a biggest fan of the texture I did in the background. I think if I were to do this again, I would keep the background a flat color, but I was tired, and it was time for bed, so I went to bed instead of fixing it. And I think that if I were to fix it now, it would just like ruin something for Inktober about it. I don't know, because I didn't do it in October. I didn't do it on the day. It just would feel weird to change it now. So with this texture, it stays. Then day 27 for climb, I was going to draw like a tree or someone climbing a tree or someone climbing a mountain, and I was like, I don't have the effort to draw a new pose, anything interesting. So I thought, okay, well, what if you get to the top of the tree and then you peek out and then you look down? And I just thought that was a really cool concept. And yeah, so I drew this little girl peeking out through the leaves. And then the next day, the prompt was fall, and I wasn't sure if it was fall like I've fallen down, or fall like the season between summer and winter, like autumn. So I went for both. I couldn't decide, so I chose both. So basically what happened was, okay, I drew someone falling, and then I drew leaves falling like they do in like autumn. So I thought that was pretty cool, but and then what happened was I drew this face, and it looked too happy for someone who's falling, so I tried to make it as dark as possible. I don't know if it really worked, but there it is. And I think overall the drawing turned out really nicely. So the next day, the prompt was united. So basically what I did was I was going to draw, I actually don't remember what I was going to draw, but it wasn't going to be this. And then I thought, but you know, like in relationships, you're supposed to be united as one, together, ha ha, it's like cute. So I drew this cute little couple, and I really like the dude's nose. I think that is the best guy's nose I've drawn maybe ever. And his shoulder just works, it just so anatomically, yes, but in a not perfectly realistic way. I don't know, it just works. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this one. Then the next one, the prompt was found, I believe, and I just was going to draw this flower, like, oh, look at this amazing flower that was clearly found. And then I was like, oh, no, you know how I would show that? It would be a person looking with this little flower in his hand, looking really closely at it. So I had a little face in the background. And then I drew it, and I inked the flower first, and then I inked the hand. And then I was going to ink the face, and I was like, but it's perfect with just the flower and hand. So I left it super simple, super black and white. It just worked. And then this is the very last day of Inktober, and the prompt was mask. And I was going to do something a little bit more like deep about how people wear masks, and like they're to hide their true selves and whatever, or like, I don't know. And then eventually I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with drawing an actual mask, keeping it really simple, doing it really well, which I think I've done. And yeah, so I'm really, really happy with this last one. And I think overall, I'm so happy with all the stuff that I've done for Inktober, and I'm really, really proud of that. I've managed to draw every single day for the month of Inktober, even though it was probably one of the toughest months at varsity so far. So I'm giving myself a pat on the back for that one. And I think if anyone else has done Inktober, well done to you. Even if you only got halfway, a couple days in, I think just even starting the challenge at all is a great thing to do. And I'm definitely going to do this again next year, or at least try my best to. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for staying all the way to the end and looking through my sketchbook with me. And I hope you found it interesting, entertaining, cool to see. like the ideas and whatever. I don't know. I just love watching sketchbook tours, so I just had to do one for Inktober. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along with this journey, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week / day / whenever it is you're watching this. Yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.